All right, hey Liz, so I want to have best practice for each of these categories: squat, lunge, deadlift, bridge, hip flexor stretch, step up. What I'm looking for again here is a move that we know you can do comfortably. It might stretch you a little bit, it might push a limit a little bit, but since we don't want to just kind of live in easy rehab exercises all the time. I think every morning you still need the light stretch work, the warm up work, the just kind of general mobility stuff and all the core stuff. But this is more, if we're going to start pushing limits on some of the bigger lifts, you know, before we get in the gym and do it that way, this is where you need to be at home. So let's start with the squat. Got to be elevated. We know elevation because it's going to let you get your full depth, right? So I want you elevated on the heel lifts, and then I think anywhere around 20, 25 pounds in your hand. Again, I think a B plus is doing it under the chin. Again, full range. One cue here was to make sure you are staying control the whole way through and not getting here and then kind of plopping down at the end. So just control all the way to the bottom, maybe a slight pause, come through smooth. Bonus points, you get an A if we can hold it up. It's just gonna get you a little more core work. So I'm looking for maybe every other day you're knocking out, 2 sets of 10 or a couple rounds of 15 of these. We don't need to do a lot of high reps here. Again, the whole point of these is we're making them challenging, so we're not getting into a lot of high rep stuff. We're trying to save time, honestly, by doing these. So that's your squat. Your lunge, I want you semi-elevated, it's a little higher step than normal, and we gotta go laterally. It's gonna get that groin stretched, and then I think holding the weight down low. Again, we're not emphasizing strength on this one, emphasizing more of a groin and hip stretch. Good range of motion. Let that weight just kind of sink you down. Maybe you do the rep, boom, and then even from there, a little bit of reach. You can even lean forward a little bit, turn that into a little bit of a low back strengthener. That's the whole point here is groin, just because it's been a little bit angry lately. Again, I knock out maybe a couple rounds of 10 on each side. Does not need to be a lot because it's challenging. Boom. For the step ups, we're gonna go to the smaller stair, or smaller step. Again, making it challenging. So for this one, we want far away. This was our 4-in-1. So you can get a good hip flexor stretch. Nice. You can get a hamstring stretch. Nice. Our power is going to be the step up. And then go ahead and add that big hip flexor at the end. So a little stretch, power, power. Stretch, stretch, power, power. If you want to hold a dumbbell while you're doing this, great, but I think it's just going to be enough balance and control. Just kind of make all that happen. Again, 10, 15 on each side. Plenty challenging, checking a lot of boxes. The deadlift we want to do, we got to incorporate a little bit of balance because it's still a little shaky. So I like the single leg. I want you alternating. Boom. Good depth. Switch arms, switch legs. Just really work on control here. Obviously, love to get you all the way touching the ground. Get that back leg way high, big stretch. But our limiting factor here is probably going to be the stability, and that's okay. Eventually, once your balance gets a little bit better, you can start reaching a little bit deeper there. That's our deadlift. All right, I got two more, sorry. Hip flexor stretch. This is a review one, but obviously similar to this. Put foot prop, that way we're getting the quad. I don't care what this front leg does. Just there for balance, maybe a little bit of groin here. Again, this is more of a hangout stretch, but I think your hip flexor, again, we kind of came up at the end of the day. I don't think the hip flexor itself is really the tight guy, but just anterior hip in general. It's really good to get that front of that hip stretched out. Boom. And then the bridge, my favorite bridge for you right now. again, we have too many varieties of bridges, and I want you to sprinkle them all in whenever you can. But if we're tough on time and you only got a few minutes before work to get a workout in, I want you doing elevated bridges, single leg, really just focusing on that glute. And then we also talk about putting a dumbbell on the hips or a couple dumbbells on the hip if you want to add a little bit of strength. But I think this is my preferred bridge pattern at the moment. Obviously, eventually we can change that up. So that's a hard squat, a hard lunge, a hard deadlift, a hard bridge, a hard step up, and a really good hip stretch. It's checking all the boxes. The only angle in the hip that we're not addressing with these is that outer. So I still like that, staggered with a little bit of lean. I still like that stretch for you. I still like any light band work you can do, whether that be lateral walking, monster walks, that kind of thing. Plyometrics on the Bosu. I still love all those. And I want you to sprinkle those in. But this is just a kind of efficiency going up, intensity going up. But you can keep our reps pretty low there. So hope that helps. See you in a couple weeks. We'll do it all over again. Take care.